Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about BB27, Big Brother, Season 27, Week 2, the veto competition episode. We will also be covering some spoilers at the very end, but we will give a spoiler warning before we get into live feed content. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. So this episode, it kind of made us like, it brought out the annoying players. Like, it kind of made us think about them a little bit. So in a little bit, we're going to kind of go through and just run through some of the annoying players, okay? Because, like, right now, it's like they starting to get a little aggy, you know, like, right there. But before we do that, we want to talk about the veto, the results, how it went down, and then we'll kind of flesh it out a little bit later after we kind of talk about the annoying players who have just, like, emerged lately. But anywho, for the veto, we have, Keanu winning it via Casey. And we talked about that in spoilers for on Sunday, that Casey was the one who came back and won it for him. I was like, cool. She hasn't aged.
She hasn't aged. And watching it back, or just not back, but just watching it in general, I was like, Casey came to defend her title, baby. She did not come to play for Keanu.
I know, right?
She was right. Oh no, I'm in it. I'm gunning for it. Like, she did not lay up, not for 1 second. At the end, when she was like, give me a race. Don't let go of that button. I said, oh, Casey, the challenger is here. Okay?
Yeah. No, definitely. So it was nice. And it was nice to see Miss Felicia, even though that doggone veto competition was too long. At a certain point, I was like, bruh. All right, we get it. Like, cut it up for us. Like, cut it up. It's like, we don't need to see the whole competition. But it was nice to see her. Sometimes I forget BB players and I'd be like, oh, yay! Like, because I forgot for a second, not who she was, but just that she existed. I probably shouldn't say that. But I forgot in my head and I was like, oh my God, Miss Felicia, of course. But yeah, so Kelly also had a BB veto competition. She had the Caitlyn puzzle, and
dun dun dun.
She lives to fight another day.
No, let me stop. I'm just kidding. But yeah, she lives another day.
Yeah, I'm not okay. Like, I would be a Kelly fan. This is what she needs. The me be a Kelly fan starter pack. She need, like, knowledge of the game. Like, that's my biggest thing. It's not her quirkiness. It's not her personality. It is literally knowledge of the game. Because it feels like if you do a thing like wrong long enough, it becomes the new thing, And I don't want the game to shift into something that is like this just poor gameplay because someone won some comps or whatever. So I'm just like, ugh. So yeah, I love for her to have a little bit more knowledge.
She needs that. She needs some like social awareness. She needs some social skills, like when to not. Well, I think also too, like with knowledge of the game, that would actually get better. She would know that it's not okay to just call people out as they're doing their laundry or as they're working out and calling out bits and pieces of their gameplay, even though you feel it's a joke. So yeah, I guess so.
We halfway getting into her annoying stuff right now, but either way. So she had that. So both vetoes were won. So Jimmy had to do renoms. And the renoms were Will and Amy. Amy took Keanu's spot. Will took Kelly's spot. And this was sort of against his alliance's wishes, the Triple Threat Alliance, against Rachel's wishes. They have like this kind of, working relationship, him and Rachel. And so it's just like Jimmy was just doing what he wanted to do. So, it leads us into the annoying player segments. Like, should we start it off with Jimmy?
Yeah, let's start with Jimmy. In terms of this episode, he's kind of all over the place for me. I've said this before, like, because he has, outside of his HOH reign, seemed like a player who was going to come in and make really big moves and be very bold. I was expecting him to do that, and he played it very safe. He's also going against his alliance members in terms of Mickey and Morgan, and that's just like, it's annoying. It's hard for me to have faith in his game the way he's playing. At the end, when Mickey was like, love Jimmy, don't like how he's playing, that was my sentiment. I'm like, he can bring a lot of value to the game just in terms of like good TV, but it's like, when it's your time to shine, brother, you're supposed to be shining, and you're not doing your thing. You're not doing it.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like, it's unclear for me. So like the reason why I find Jimmy annoying is purely personality. Like, it's not even his gameplay per se, because it's so early. Like, what is a big move? Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm not sure. Maybe Zach. Zach would be a big move, but do you have the votes? Like, that's an interesting thing because everybody seems to love Zach. But it's so early that it is kind of like, what is a big move? And so I think you just need to be getting out people who are not in your corner, you know? But the frustrating thing about his game is that it seemed like there were two sort of sides, not forming because this house is so unstructured. But it was like, okay, are we coalescing with this Rachel, Mickey, Morgan side, and then this Zach and the bros side, and, you know, maybe with a Lauren and a Catherine on that side and a Kelly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like it was kind of giving something, and we put Jimmy on the side of the Rachel and the Morgan, Mickey. So it feels like he's kind of just like being like, all right, I'm going to make some friends. I'm going to use this HOH to make some friends on this side. And so I'm going to sacrifice you guys to do that. Like, okay, I'm going to hang out here with I'm not hang out, but like, I'm going to do things that, like, I'm going to put you guys in jeopardy because you guys can be pawns. Like Will, I know he doesn't have a great relationship with Will, but like Amy, that's the main one I'm thinking about. It's just like, I'm going to put everybody on this side's game in jeopardy, like by possibly putting your ally at risk, even if I don't necessarily feel she's on that side. So it's just like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's just like, it's a lot going on. When he said that Rachel might be someone he was thinking about, I was like, I guess that's a big move, but at the same time, does it benefit you? You know?
Yeah, I get that, which is why I was hoping that he was going to put up or consider what Morgan and Mickey was saying, because it's like, Zach, let's just say it was Zach, that would have been a good move. The Rachel camp would have voted him off. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't have minded him being up there.
I don't know. Everybody seems to love Zach, even them. Like, they count him as part of their allowance. Morgan out here crushing on this man. I don't think Zach can get voted out right now, personally.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Riley, Catherine, Lauren.
They're voting. Those are not votes against Zach. Those are votes to keep Zach. Like, there's not a single vote.
I'm saying that all of those people could have went on the block, though. Like, any of them could have went on the block, and it would not have been, you are weakening people who are on your side. It's like, that's
why I feel like he just like using his friends, being like, oh, you guys, you don't mind. I don't want to make, I don't want to piss those people off.
Right.
So I'll piss you guys off. You're my friends. So that's kind of, I feel like, how he's operating. But what pissed me off about Jimmy or annoyed me about him this episode, and like the lead up to now, is that his personality, like even his thing with Rachel, it's like a little bit like, it's like he seems like a mean girl.
Yeah, that was really mean. I was like, are you a bully? Like, what is going on here? Like, she's really into how she dresses. You can tell like that is literally her personal style that she has cultivated for herself. She really likes that. Like, since we have seen Rachel, she has been very like theatrical and drama. Like I said, she gives me drama kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see her in the plays at high school. I can see her on Broadway. Like, that is her personal style. So for you to come in and just try and tear her down, it was a bit much. It was a bit much for me. Yeah. No, he was like, I can see the buffering thing over your head. That was funny. But I was like, not too much on my girl.
I know.
Not too much on my girl.
Yeah. And it's just like I remember, nobody throw tomatoes at me, but I didn't like Rachel like back then when she played. I remember like the second season, I kind of warmed up to her, but the first season she was on, 12, I didn't like her. I was happy when they were, not happy, but like, I was like on the side of the people who were telling her off. Like Reagan, I think I was on his side for it. However, I think that there's something about Rachel, like she's obviously not like this great
she's not witty.
like she's not the comeback queen.
Her gun is not loaded, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She ain't firing
sometimes
off
it's loaded
seconds.
and it might shoot off a bullet or two, you know what I'm saying, but it's not, it don't stay ready, you know what I'm saying, like some people, they stay ready.
But I feel like Jimmy knows that she's not like that, so it's like you are abusing your power, you are abusing this skill that you have to be quick on your feet and to be witty, and so you're using it to like bully her. And I feel like some people who aren't as witty, they kind of just like take it because they don't know what to say, and so a protective factor for them is to just laugh it off and he and I'm gonna laugh about it so I'm not crying about it. But it's like no, like you probably are hurting her feelings because she really likes her clothes,
right. And she called him mean. I thought that was telling. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, yeah, he can be a little mean. Like, I'm like, yeah. So that was annoying for me. Like at the top, it was annoying to me because it was just that was annoying. But yeah, we'll get more into him when we talk about spoilers and stuff like that. But do you have anything else on Jimmy in terms of his annoyance?
No, let's go ahead and get into Keanu because we talked a little bit about Kelley. Keanu, as soon as he won that veto, I felt like he thought he was the king of the castle, baby. I'm like, you think you about to start calling out shots, my brother? Like, don't be fooled. People still want you out the house. You just won and you are safe this week. That's it. It's just this week.
Yeah. It's so interesting for him to be like him and Rachel having butted heads. They actually are having a very similar game. I mean, it's so early, so he's not necessarily like a comp beast yet, but I could see him going on a run or something like that. And I feel like it's like that's how she was. I'm not trying to say like, not that she was like a social pariah, but she's like, you know, she was something, you know, that wasn't liked, you know, she wasn't liked. And it's like, he's giving that sort of energy, you know, and so it's like they have to be at war the way they are. They have very similar, like it's teeing up to be a similar trajectory. And I think that maybe some of what the issue is, but I said it before, I think the biggest issue is that he doesn't know her game and he thinks she's this Dr. Will or somebody, and she's literally a comp beast who is now like, what is this, 15, 20 years later?
Right.
Is it? It's like at least 10. It's 10. Yeah. I'm over here like 15, 20. It's at least 10. Okay. 10 years later. 10, 15, maybe even. You know?
It's been a minute. It's not the same. They have it once a year. So.
Yeah. But she was 12 and then we're on 26. So it's like 13, 14. So almost 15. But yeah, so yeah, he was annoying me, like, because it was just like, and it's for him to act like he couldn't see why saying that stuff like would annoy her. You're bringing
up the worst moments of her being, you know, picked on and stuff. Wasn't. He was not reading the room whatsoever. I don't understand. But also too, I just feel like Keanu, if you don't know the game and you don't really know her gameplay or like how she has played or how anyone has played, to be honest, like just shut up, like respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you going off of highlight reels. I don't know if that's the thing you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like
because she's right, there was so many other things like, you know, that he could have said, but it is what it is. I think he's just like determined this is what it is in his head, and he's just like sticking to that story. He doesn't have any other stories. So that's kind of it. Do we want to talk about Ashley? Because he and Ashley had a little bit of a run-in as well. Yeah. And, you know, like
I said, Ashley, girl, we just get off a showergate flow. Let's simmer down. Let's cool off. Let's take a shower. Anything but call out anybody's behavior.
Yeah, I know.
Anything but that.
Ashley, we're going to talk about her in the spoiler section too. But she be like, her energy be up there. She be amped. And so, girl, I need you to, you to
just a little
dim your Yeah, turn it down. Turn the lights down so that people can't see you that much. But we'll
She
talk
is
about
so
her. Like I
beautiful though.
said,
Every single
yeah,
time she's
she is.
on the screen, I'm just like the lip combo, babes. Like
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10. She be
She
killing
looks
it.
so much like Hannah to me.
Yeah.
You the one who told me that they knew each other. I saw something with her and Big D the other day, and she was saying how has known her since she was 3 years old. I'm like, y'all,
Yeah.
she on a sister
Yeah, no,
secretly
for
or
real.
something. Like, let me not. Sorry, but I mean, like, literally, they look so much alike. But maybe they're also like, I don't know if. Hold up, I'm gonna say is Hannah Eritrean or is she like South African? Because I know she's like Middle Eastern and
Yeah. Hold on. Let's
African.
look
I
it
don't
up.
remember what part of Africa I think her mother was from. But I was like about to say maybe they're of the same. I was about to say if they were both Eritrean or both like Somalian or something like that because they look like they have that kind of those features, but she's not even like Hannah's not even one race. She's mixed. So it's very unlikely. I would say that they unless they just, two families that had the same exact, race mix and were together and grew up together, through their families together. I don't know.
It says that it's not giving me the exact country. Black and South Asian.
Yeah. Way to be
her
descriptive,
mother
Google.
is from South Africa and her father is from India.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. They gave us. Because I didn't know. Those are the things that popped in my head, but then I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got more in the spoiler section on Ashley's. Kelly.
Yeah,
we talked about Kelly a little bit and some of what was annoying us. Anything else about Kelly that was annoying you?
No, that was the main things. Again, we'll talk about her in the spoiler section, child.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of like how the episode's activities and events kind of shaped and twisted some of the relationships and alliances and stuff like that. Like we talked a little bit about Triple Threat. Just one thing I will say, and we'll get into it more in the spoil section, I do feel like they didn't really capture in the episode really all that was happening with Mickey and Morgan expressing to Jimmy their discomfort. Because from the episode, it looked like Mickey was just like, oh, okay, this is what you're gonna do. She never voiced anything, never voiced nominees or potential folks or whatever. But it wasn't like that, I would say. That
the episode was, I think she was like, this is, you earned this position, your HOH, so I respect your choice and whatever you decide to do.
Yeah, and it sounded like she had a lot more to say in the DR, but it's like, it's not that they told off Jimmy, but it did kind of feel like they expressed to him who they wanted to go up, and he was just like, no, I'm going to do this person. So I feel like the show didn't capture that well enough, but, I think they put the sentiment in there that they don't like what he's doing, So I think that was very accurate, that piece of it. Yeah. What'd you think about the Catherine and Lauren montage? They had a little, they're buddies.
Yeah, neither one of them are my favorite. So I wanted to just be like, move along.
Yeah, I was like, did we get one from Morgan and Mickey? Because this little montage made it they main characters in these streets. I'm like, okay, make sure y'all do one for my girls, Mickey and Morgan. Period. Okay, because Mickey and Morgan are really like actually very well positioned, and Lauren and Catherine are very like more calm or quiet. They're doing more of a floater game right now, and so I was surprised at that. But we'll talk in the spoilers about like my theories on that or whatever. But anywho, Morgan and Mickey, we see that they are being, just kind of bonding over this Jimmy situation, and so it's kind of bothering them and kind of pushing them both into the girl
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, right. I'm glad it reinforced though that Mickey was able to say again, like, I'm glad I didn't tell Jimmy about
Yes.
the power, because when that happened, I was
Yes.
like, okay, cool. So Morgan hasn't told Jimmy on like a side
Mm-hmm.
conversation,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
from what we
Yeah.
know. So that made me
Mm-hmm.
feel really settled about Mickey's power, and I
Mm-hmm.
know it's not gonna go anywhere because they do seem like they're
Mm-hmm.
locked in. I feel like this is
Mm-hmm.
the most solidified relationship in the house right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think so too. I agree. Is there anything else in the episode before we get to spoilers? Is there anything else in the episode that we didn't cover that you kind of want to cover or
I don't know. I think the
chit
only
chat
other
about?
thing that I had wrote down was just Ava again, like her personality. I love the
Oh
little bits when we
yes.
get her personality and her
Yeah.
at the
I
at the punching
know.
bag, where she's like, "Yeah, I did my big one today." She's
Ah.
cool. I like Ava's
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. And her face, like when they like Keanu was standing up and it's like she's always having
Yes,
faces. Like that would be
yes,
me. Like, oh my God, with the faces. Like she literally does not know how to control her face. It drops open every single time. And Keanu's veto meeting, we didn't really talk much about that, even though we did, but you know, him saying, I'm coming for every one of you. Every one of you. I'm coming for.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like,
But he had a good
read the
point though.
room.
He had
You
a
said
good
he
point
what?
though. He was like, if I keep being the house target every single week, what y'all want me to do? What y'all want me to do? It wasn't the
Yeah.
right thing to say, but I think he had a point.
I mean, I hear it, but it's like, are you playing Big Brother or are you playing like the great debaters and you want to win this argument because you're right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, have a little finesse, brother. Like, have a little
Yeah.
like
The ego is
showmanship.
strong.
Yeah, it's like he's out here trying to win the argument. Like they're like, bruh, you will lose the game.
Yeah.
Trying to do that. But okay, spoilers are coming. So if you do not want spoilers, we'll save this video. Give us a like. Put in the comments, what was your favorite moment from this episode and who you think is going home, because we have our 3 locked in who are on the block: Will, Amy, and Adrian. And we didn't even talk about Adrian much. Before we get into spoilers, let's talk about Adrian one last little time, because I do think that there is something worth to be said, because he might go home this week, to be honest.
Yeah, and I don't want him to go home. I'm sorry, but I
Yeah.
would rather Amy go home before Adrian.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Like, I don't think Adrian is going to be great for like the Mickey Morgan side of the game. Like, I just don't. I think he's more connected to Zach, but I also think that like we have to have formidable opponents. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't want the formidable opponent to get too strong that it will be like boom, 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 boom. We see you, Mickey. We see you, Morgan.
Yeah,
boom, boom.
I agree.
So I'm like weighing this, like, I want a good game. I want a good battle. And so I want somebody on that side to be able to but I also don't want it to coalesce, like everybody like starts to form to that side, and then the clear targets become Rachel, Morgan, and Mickey. So that's what I don't want, but yeah, Adrian, we'll see what happens. He was,
He's too good he's too smart of a player. I want him to stay.
Yeah, but
and then Will
don't want too hard.
Yeah,
I don't
Will's
know if
social
that's
game
good for Mickey and them.
Yeah, I mean it's not, but I'm like, it makes it Big Brother. You know what I'm saying?
Fun,
like
yeah.
Everybody needs to step it up on strategy and gameplay at this point. So keep the people in there who are going to force that to happen. Otherwise, we're just going to have a boring season, True. Okay, let's get into... Well, before, hold on, because Will is up there, and Will, he kind of, not surprised me this episode, but like, I think he has a really good social game going on for him right now. I feel like he is, like, him having the, sitting down and telling everybody about, his war stories and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, this is good, especially for an older player. Usually,
for sure,
they're thought of to be off and out very quickly. And I think in past seasons, if an older person was on the block, they would be considered, an easy pick off to go home. But I feel like he actually has relationships where he might be able to stay. So I want him to stay too.
Yeah, I feel like Sari and Miss Felicia, their season, they kind of changed some things with regard to the older folks, because they stayed and were in there fairly long.
They rocked that thing out.
Yes. So, Full circle moment. But anywho, we're gonna get into the spoilers, and so if you don't want spoilers, exit, save. Like I said, comment, like, and come back. We'll be back here after tomorrow's episode. So, the next day. We like to put up the episodes the next day, in the morning, in the middle of the night. So come back and we'll be here. So, all right, spoilers. One spoiler I do want to say before we get into other ones, because I don't think you are aware of this spoiler. Everybody knows about Mickey's doggone power basically now, or everybody thinks it's her. Yeah, girl.
Man.
Everybody thinks it's her. Not everybody, like a few people don't. I don't have the names off the top of my head, but a few people don't. But mainly, most folks think it is her. And so I think she's gonna either not be able to use this.
That's why Zach ass could have been on that block. That's Zach's fault.
Right. But everybody loves Zach. That's why I'm like, when you said that, like, everybody loves Zach. There's nobody, and like Adrian, that's a spoiler because they don't show it on the episode that much. Adrian is a Zacker. Him and Zach have a very strong relationship. And we're not very strong, but strong enough, like he's a number. He's a number for Zach. And like I said, Zach may be not, his troops are forming. You know what I'm saying? They're forming. So that's that. But can we talk about Ashley a little bit?
Yes, let's get into Ashley.
Because we didn't get into the annoyance of Ashley enough during the non-spoiler section, because like all of the spoiler stuff is like all of the Ashley stuff is in the spoilers. You know what I mean? It's in the live feeds. But Ashley is out here, and I don't know if she's like faking, and we have to see her DRs to see if she's like who she's really loyal to. But she's out here talking about Mickey and Morgan. It's specifically Morgan too. Like Morgan is like her target, but she's out here being like, I think Mickey, Morgan, Zach, and Vince, I think they're in an alliance. Yes. And she's telling this to different people like Kelley, and like the side of the house is not supposedly her side or her people. And Kelley, she with the boys, so she was telling the boys. So it's just kind of like, Ashley frustrates me because it's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And I don't even understand this whole, like, Catherine doesn't like her, or they seem to still have this Showergate thing going on. She doesn't seem to be hip to that. And
she confronted her. It was like, where are you in the game or something like that? What do you think your position is in the game?
You're talking about
Ashley,
way back in the
Ashley
beginning?
went up. No, this is recently.
Oh,
yeah, like today or yesterday. Ashley went up to Catherine and was like, "What do you think your position is in the game?" Like in a very like forward way. It's like, girl, we doing too much. We need to sit down. And it's like, Ashley, just because you see people up at night talking, like, you can't be calling that stuff out, girl.
Yeah, Ashley is definitely giving. I put my foot up in my mouth.
Yes, I want to root for her so bad. Like, I'm always trying to root for the ladies and the people of color, and it's just like, girl, you're not making it easy. You're not making it easy. And I was just, I was excited for her to come in the game.
Yeah, and then there was the moment. Have you seen the cleaning moment when like Rachel's in there cleaning up the bathroom, and then she's just in there like twirling around, and she's like, these people are so nasty. And then Rachel's like, well, I've never seen you like clean the sink. And she's like, I'm not nasty like these people. Like basically insinuating that
she doesn't
make mess, she doesn't need to clean or something. I don't know. But I was like, girl. And then meanwhile, Zach in there like, Rachel, you need help. Helping Rachel out. And Rachel's like, thank you. This is so nice of you. And it's like, girl, like, I need you to know that this is like, but I could tell from when she was coming in and breaking up the meetings to talk with Zach. I mean, not Zach, Vince, during his HOH. I was like, it's not clocking for her, So yeah. That's Ashley.
Yeah. Is she an only child? She might be an only child.
She's giving only child.
Yeah, she might be an only child. She was never, forced to have to share, to take up space with somebody else,
girl,
to consider somebody else,
or youngest, especially by a lot. Like, especially if she's the youngest there's by a lot.
Yeah.
But only child sounded right about right. We need to ask Hannah that question, like on
right
on Threads. Look,
she got some sisters, any brothers, anything.
Like, is she an only child? You know why we're asking, Hannah. Somebody tag her.
I'm gonna thread that.
that. You know why we're asking. But anyway, do you want to talk about like the Ava, Will, Mickey, Morgan?
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, so you got to inform me. What's going on with this?
So there's like a little alliance that they're trying to form, and Ava is just kind of like, not Ashley though. Like, she's not really feeling Ashley being a part of that. And Ava's in another alliance too. I don't even know the members of that, but Ava's in like a couple different. Like, Ava's people seem to like her a lot, but I like Mickey, Morgan, Will, Ava. I like that 4. I need that 4 to do something. You know what I'm saying? That 4 do something. They got all my votes. You know what I'm saying? I need them to lock in something.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. Mickey, Morgan, and Rachel. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so they were all talking. They were just talking about how Jimmy was doing his HOH. I think this is like probably right before or right after nominations happened. Renominations happened after the veto. And they were just talking about all the different scenarios that could happen with the vote. But essentially, they were just like, we need to make sure we are kissing ass with the other side of the house, just in case, right? Because Amy is now on the block, and they're trying to make sure Amy gets to stay. They want Amy to stay, and they want Will to stay.
Yeah. And I will say, like, it seemed like for a little while, like Mickey and Morgan, they were kind of changing their minds back and forth between Amy and Adrian. Like, I think Will, they want to stay no matter what. But
yeah, I think it looks like Will is safe no matter what the vote is. Yeah.
Yeah. But between Adrian and Amy, it keeps flip-flopping a little bit, but more on Adrian, or you think it's more on Amy?
It seems like it's more on trying to kick out Adrian, but my thing is, I feel like, not saying that Amy and Will won't be good competitors, but I just feel like that blockbuster, like, if I had to take my guess, right, like, Adrian is going to get that. So
yeah, no, I would agree to that.
And if it's Amy versus Will, Will is staying. And I mean, when you just think about the landscape of the game, Amy is not in a good position in the house. You know what I'm saying? She's just tight with Rachel. Like, Rachel is her person.
Even she not even like the
true.
Her and Ashley keep talking like Rachel. She not like they're not
talking
like Rachel ain't the whole reason why you here, buddy.
Right,
Rachel is why you were here. You know what I'm saying? They blaming Rachel for why they in the position they in, but it's just themselves. Like, it's literally Ashley, and I'm not gonna say like Showergate was her fault, but I'm just saying it's not Rachel. It had nothing to do with Rachel. It's the Showergate situation that got her on the radar in the beginning, and then it was Amy advocating for her, crying in tears, they got her on the block. And the fact that she's here is because of Rachel saying, don't vote her out. So they could both can go, but I just don't want that side to crumble so fast, especially with there's the Catherine Lauren thing that's forming. And that's what I was going to say with the episode. I think they highlighted that because they know the direction this shit is going in. Like, excuse me from cursing. Actually, no, don't excuse me. But they know what direction it's going in.
Yeah.
Jimmy is kind of hanging with Catherine and Lauren a little bit, and is kind of giving like Jimmy's gonna like not jump ship, but he got his hands in all the cookie jars.
He's definitely good. I feel like he is gonna. Well, I feel like he's going to jump back and forth between what side has the power. I think that's what he's trying to do. But he's being messy about it. I'm not too keen. I'm not a fan of Catherine and Lauren. Catherine, I haven't been a fan of her since the whole Ashley thing. You calling her
Yeah.
out as she's walking through the room. Didn't like that. Lauren, not a fan of you because as soon as the girls approached you for an alliance, you went and told the men. So I'm not rooting for that side. If Jimmy wants to go over there, that actually would be okay with me because they don't have to worry about a wild card in their deck.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Yeah. No, I agree. Anything else from the live feeds that we want to
No, I
touch
think
on?
that's it. We've touched on the fact that this season is just like there's no big structure to knock down, so there's no way to there's no like side of the house, right? Like it's all over the place, which I mean it's
A lot
making
of
for a
individual
very
players.
I think it's making for an entertaining season for sure. But everyone just needs I need them to get like their strategy hats on. Like
Right.
we need to be getting numbers together at this point,
Right.
y'all. So
Yeah, I would love to see some numbers, especially like I said, that Will, Ava, Morgan, Mickey.
yeah, I love the sound
Lock
of that.
that
I think
in.
that sounds really good.
Lock
That's real
that
cute.
in.
Real cute. We need to make a post about that. That's cute.
I know we need a name. I need to lock it in. But anywho, we'll see tomorrow. We'll be here, and we hope you will be too. So
Yes, alrighty. Hit
yeah.
that subscribe button and that notification bell, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
All right, bye.